With film photography's recent boom in popularity and the price of film skyrocketing in the past few years, it can seem pretty daunting for anyone that's trying to get into the space for the first time. That's why today we're going to be talking about how you can start your film photography journey without breaking the bank. Let's get into it. To start us off, let's talk about the most important thing you'll need: a film camera. With the popularity of film photography on the rise, the price of film cameras have risen with it. Just look at the Contax T2 for example. Its price skyrocketed from around $300 in 2016 to over $1,000 by the end of 2017, after popular celebrities like Kendall Jenner started showing theirs off on social media and TV. Although that's a bit of an extreme case, we can see a similar trend with the Canon AE1, a popular 35mm camera going from around $100 in 2016 and 17 to now being sold at around $200. So how can you get a film camera without breaking the bank? Well, the cheapest way is to just ask a relative. Ask your mom, ask your dad, your grandma, your granddad, even that uncle you haven't talked to in 5 years, and see if they still have any film cameras that they used to use back in the day. If you're lucky, they might still have one laying around that they might be willing to give you. But if they don't, or you just refuse to interact with family outside of family gatherings, next best thing you can do is go to thrift shops and yard sales. This can be a great place to find a film camera for cheap, and the best thing is that you can actually test the camera before you buy it. Quick tip here: if you plan on doing this, make sure to take some batteries along with you, because some cameras have a thing called a light meter in them that require a battery to work, and other cameras just won't work without one. Finally, if you can't find any or just live in the middle of nowhere, you can try eBay. You can tend to find some pretty good deals on eBay. Take this Canon AE1 for example, the same camera we talked about before, going well below the usual price at just $80. But I would recommend eBay as a last resort, as you can't test the camera before you buy it. And even if the seller has checked that the basic functions can work, there may be other problems that they just missed or didn't know to look for. Kodak has also recently released a cheap 35mm film camera, but it's a half frame film camera. What this means is instead of the camera taking a regular 3x2 photo like most 35 film cameras, this one chops it in half, hence the name half frame. What's awesome about this is that you essentially double how many photos you can take with a single roll of film, meaning you can get 48 photos out of a roll of 24 and 72 photos out of a roll of 36. And since you have to progress the film manually, you can theoretically get even more photos. The camera is called the Kodak Ektar H35 and it costs around $50. It will be linked in the description below, as well as everything else mentioned in this video. You can also find the like button and the subscribe button down there, so if you like this video, make sure to give them a boop. Okay, moving on. Now that we've talked about film cameras, let's talk about the other essential thing you'll need: film. Again, just like film cameras, the price of film has gotten a lot more expensive over the past few years, and will probably continue to follow that trend to the point where you'll have to sell a kidney to buy the famed Portrait 400. But not to worry, there's still a bunch of really great and reasonably priced films you can get, one of which is actually my favorite film, Kodak Gold. You can usually pick up a roll of Kodak Gold for around $10, but I'd recommend picking up the 3-pack if you want to save a few dollars. Although it is quite popular and tends to be out of stock a lot, so another great alternative is Kodak Color Plus. The price of this one tends to fluctuate around $10 and $15 and unfortunately doesn't come in a 3-pack like Gold does, but it's still a great choice nonetheless. Another great alternative is Fuji Color 200. This tends to be in stock a lot more in and around Asia and has a similar price to the films mentioned above, at around $10 to $15. If you're looking for a film with a higher ISO that can give you a bit more leeway in low light, I'd recommend Fuji Extra 400. It costs around $15 for a roll, but if you're willing to spend a few extra dollars, you can pick up a roll of Fuji Premium for around $16 to $18. So there you have it. Film photography doesn't have to break the bank, and I hope these tips can start you shooting film. But in saying that guys, my name's Shawnee Maguire. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and until next time, stay safe, keep creating, and I'll see you next time. Alright, bye.